Hello YouTube, Dermador Weldor here. So, we're going to talk about some boring stuff today. Money management. Oh, I know. You want something cool. Oh my goodness. Don't you have a new welder or something, or a really cool project? Yeah, I've had all sorts of stuff like that. You know, follow me on Instagram. You know, got all that stuff on Instagram. But anyway, there's something more important we got to talk about. Money management. Alright? Budgeting. We're going to go over the budgeting I use, and hopefully y'all can take from it and adapt accordingly and make your own budget that works for what you need. And also some examples of what happens when you don't do that, alright? But, quick update about the Arc Pig. I sent the Arc Pig back, they got it, they said it works just fine. Great, I still want my money back. So they were cool. All interactions with the Arc Pig company were very good. They were very good about, they got me my money back. They were very good about, hey, you know, if you're just not happy with it, here's your money. You know, they were very good about that. So, you know, they're not bad people. I honestly, I have no clue it just did the beep noise, and I did everything in the troubleshooting to get it to work besides taking it apart. And I won't go take it apart and void any kind of warranty I had, so that's why I sent it back. But it's gone now. I'm just going to stick with spool gun and DC TIG welding with the stick electrodes. If you haven't seen that video yet, you can see my little video I did about it. Also, Jody over at Welding Tips and Tricks has a much better video about it, where you can actually see what's going on, and he does a cross-section cut and etch. It's a very good video about it, and it is a great process for non-critical aluminum applications. And it's very great when you're in the middle of nowhere and, oh, here's an aluminum trailer I gotta fix. Ta-da! There you go. DC TIG welding with argon and stick electrodes. It works. So, this is a basic budget I have that I'm going to now my other half of the year. My final half of the year, I wrote up a new budget based on the last 2 quarters. Are we at last 2 quarters? Yeah, we're at last 2 quarters. So, it's a little weird. It's not directly on quarters with LLC. So, I evaluate my company every quarter. It's a very good thing to do. You need to evaluate your company income every quarter. If you're not having to send off money, I have to send money off every quarter, so I have to evaluate my company income in every quarter. So, my budget changes about semi-annually. So, I have a budget written up. This is my most recent and probably my best budget I've written so far based on what I've ran across. So, I've been getting a lot of shop work, and so I bumped my shop price up to $70 an hour. So it's $70 an hour for shop, $80 an hour for field. So, I break this budget down based off of $70 an hour. And so, I'll show you guys how this works. You guys can see my redneck budget plan. This is why I'm a welder and I don't work in an office. Redneck budget plan. But, so, first thing on our list, at $15 out of that hour, is consumables, gas, and equipment. This is consumables of all kinds, angle grinder, discs, blades, and, you know, saw blades, everything. It's every kind of consumable. Then gas, your welding gas, anything like that. Equipment, anything left over will go directly to more welding machines, plasma cutters, equipment, etc. Always need to be building. If you're not looking towards getting new equipment or better equipment to do your job better, you've got to stagnate and you're going to go backwards. If you're not going forward, you're going backwards. Alright? Then $10 out of that hour is insurance / workers' comp. Insurance of all kinds. Life insurance, health insurance, truck insurance, business liability insurance, and workers' comp if you're required. Some states, if you're a business, you have to have workers' comp regardless. In North Carolina, you don't have to have workers' comp unless you have 3 or more full-time employees. That's why and right now I only have 1 part-time employee who maybe gets 40 hours a month, so it's no big deal. I ain't got to worry about workers' comp. Alright? Then we have $10 an hour. $10 out of that hour. This is truck parts, welder parts, and an additional 10 if it's field. That makes it $80 an hour. Now, truck parts, oil change, spark plug wires, antifreeze, transmission fluid, gear oil, oil filter, anything, glow plugs, anything like that. Truck consumables, tires too. Truck consumables, that's truck parts. Truck consumables, and a little reserve for it blew up. So I got 300 straight 6 and a 7.3. I don't have to worry about that too much, but the potential's always there regardless. And welder parts. Welders do break, unfortunately. Sometimes you have to get stupid repair parts like a rheostat or another welding gun or a liner, something like that. So welder parts. Then you get 10 additional for field. Because I can't exactly take a car to air gas and get all my stuff. I'm having to take a truck everywhere. Last week I put 1,000 miles on my truck. Just like that. 3 days, 1,000 miles. One day I was in Virginia. Next day I was in Burlington. Next day I was at Fayetteville. Next day I was almost at the border of South Carolina. 1,000 miles. That easy. Bam, 1,000 miles. That's why I charge an extra $10 for my field work, to cover the extra wear and tear on my truck. Alright, now we are at $35 out of that 70. Now, people think that's all of that 70 goes straight to my pocket. It doesn't. You know, I'm running a business. You're not paying strictly for my labor. Now, my labor, $20 to me. Alright, that's my labor. That's my labor. That's my money I get to go get groceries, take my wife somewhere, all that stuff. Me. My money. Alright? And I'll buy a stupid airsoft gun if I want to get back in airsoft, and I'll be wasting money on airsoft guns. So, there you go. $20 for me. Then, 15 out of that. Now we're at that whole $70 now. 15 out of that covers my taxes, federal, state, and county. So, you know, federal and state, both income-based. Unfortunately, our county taxes is equipment-based. So it's a percentage of how much your equipment costs plus depreciation, which I don't think is very fair at all. And then also, at the end of this bracket here, it says parts, not consumables. Parts as in parts I have to use for the project I'm not keeping. Parts that I have to build something for a customer, therefore I went to Dillon Supply, bought the parts. They get charged that directly. Alright? And then $20 extra an hour per helper I have to bring onto the project. And what I do for that is if they have to help with more than if they have to help with more than a quarter of the project, then it's an extra $20 because I have to be able to pay them too out of all of this. So it's only fair. So that's my budget. It's this quarter's budget plan that I'm going for. It's not bulletproof. No budget really is bulletproof. There's always unexpected expenses. But, you know, it's freed up enough. I can pull from each or like I can pull from consumables and truck parts to pay insurance if I need to, or taxes or something like that, because they usually run over. And the thing is, when they run over, you can cut that extra off and pull it back, and you can take that and use that for getting more equipment and stuff like that when you have an excess. That's how I got the welder, the Miller Blue Star 2E on my truck, where there was an excess of that quarter expenditure. And I was able to get it because it was a good deal. It was $300 bucks. I'm like, alright, cool, I'll go get that. Alright? So, this right here is probably the most important part about running your own welding business. Alright? This right here is super important. It doesn't matter how good you can weld. Well, welding good's part of it, alright? But the thing is, I can go hire somebody that can do a better job than me. It's the truth. I can go hire somebody to do a better job than me. If I have stainless nuclear pipe I have to do, I can go hire somebody tomorrow that can do nuclear stainless pipe, pay them, and I'll still get money. So, yeah, that's why this, I think, is the most important part about running your own welding business. Is your ability to budget, your ability to basically just say this is what it costs. And then we're going to go over some of that. this is basically my justification for when somebody goes, well, that's a lot of money. $70 is a lot of money to be paying somebody. It's only going to take an hour. Well, there's more to it than just the $20 for my labor. Alright? So, here we go. Now we see the whole picture. That's what this is the whole picture. And credit cards do come into play too. I use credit cards when I buy parts for customers. Like, once contract signed, I use the credit card, go up there, buy it on the credit card. And then when project's done, at the end of the month, I have enough money to pay it off out of the parts that I charged. So, pay it off right at the end of the month. I have no interest on my credit card because I pay everything right off at the end of the month, all of it. So I have very good credit because of that. That's why you stick to a real good, solid budget. Alright? So, I have some good examples. The company I used to work for, the guy that ran it, had no clue what he was doing when it came to budget and money management. Great welder. This guy could weld better than, he's probably one of the best welders I'd ever seen work. He could weld just about anything under the sun. 6GR pipe certified, D11 structural, and he was a CWI. Running his own company. And you would think with credentials like that, he'd be doing a very, very good job. Well, did not follow a budget. Did not know how to tell people how to send the low ballers and cheapskaters away. Just couldn't do it. And because of that, he got himself into a lot of trouble. And he owes money to the IRS, his credit card debt through the roof, and he still drives around a nicer truck than me. First impression is, oh yeah, he's got it together. Look at that Duramax and that Lincoln on the back there. He's got it together. That's first impression when you see his truck. Actually, it's not. First impression people see my truck is, man, he built that. He's a welder. And he probably resurrected that truck, too, by the looks of it. But, yeah, don't get in that. Right now, when I was working for him originally, we were doing all sorts of cool projects. Now, he is running a muffler shop right up here in town. A muffler shop. You went from doing lots of big contract welding work to running a muffler shop. Those are some... When you have those credentials and you're running a muffler shop, something bad happened. And that's just it right there. And this right here, so important. I mean, I know all about this stuff, about how Derek, he would not have electricity or sometimes wouldn't have food in the refrigerator. I was dating his daughter. Now I'm married to her. Big rule, guys, don't date the boss's daughter. It doesn't end well. Now me and her are married, but when I was still dating her, we go over there, there'd be no electricity, or there'd be no food in the refrigerator. She'd want to stay over at my house because we had food and electricity. Why? Because he would not charge enough to pay for his food and electricity and stuff like that for his family. He'd let people guilt trip him and pull him down, and he'd screw himself. And not just himself, his family and his employees. I remember we went a month without getting paid because he would not charge enough. There was a point where the truck I was using for him, I was having to use my money to put diesel in his work truck. Something's wrong with that picture. I hope to God none of my employees ever have to use their money in my vehicle. They're going to have a fleet card that I can go, here, go fill it up. Here's a credit card, go fill it up. Here's the fleet card. You know what? Keep the fleet card in your wallet for all I care. Fill your car up with it too. You don't ever want them to ever have to fill up your work truck with their personal money. That's horrible. And the terrible thing is, you think he would have learned at this point, now he's running this muffler shop, that you can't get guilt tripped down and screw yourself like that. Well, a lot of my good friends worked at his muffler shop, and this was obviously long after I went out on my own. I had a falling out from it. I went out on my own. But they worked at his muffler shop, and now they're going, hey, he was so dumb, he did a brake job for some old lady for 20 bucks. Just because she guilt trip talked him into it. And he didn't make $1 on it because the brake pads cost more than the job did. So he didn't make $1 on it. And then it got so bad, he was only paying his employees $200 a week for 60 plus hours of mechanical and welding work. Yes, $200 a week for 60 hours. Needless to say, all of my friends quit working up there and now have different jobs. And now understand why me and him see so differently and why I don't like him. It's funny how it all turns, how it all comes around, you know. That's it, you know. Managing your money, super important. That's your example. Don't be like my old boss. Manage your money properly. Charge enough. Don't let someone guilt trip you. If they're like, well, I guess I just can't afford that, you go, okay, then I apologize. I just can't do it. Be polite. You can politely send somebody away. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not going to go to a car dealership and demand that they give you a brand new car for $1,000. They're not going to do it. They will gladly send you away. Walmart will gladly send you away if you're only going to pay $100 for a TV. You know what I'm saying? They're gladly going to send you away. So, don't feel guilty that you have to send somebody away because they won't pay or won't pay enough. It is perfectly fine to politely say, sir or ma'am, I'm sorry, we just can't do it for that much. And they'll go, well, I'll have to shop around. And you're like, that's more than all right. That's more than all right. We'll still be here if you need us. You know, be polite about it. But you're going, when you do that, you're not just only, when you budge to lowballers and cheapskates and people who refuse to pay your rates, you're not only screwing yourself. That's the thing. You think you only screw yourself, but you're not. You're screwing yourself, your employees' families, and your family. You, your family, your employees, and their families. You as the boss are not only responsible for you, your shop, and your family. When you have employees, you're now responsible for them and their families. Think about that. That's why when people give me a hard time and get kind of nasty with me, I tell them, look, I got 3 families to support. You're like, 3 families? What are you talking about? Yeah, my family, employee A family, and employee B family. That's 3 families I gotta support. I'm supporting 3 families. That's why it costs this much. And guys, just because you're working doesn't mean you're making money. You can lose money while working. You can work all day long, as hard as you want, but if you didn't charge enough, you went home with less money than you left with. Alright? That's very possible. I've seen it happen. And if you're not careful, it will happen. Alright? So, sorry this was a boring video, but I figured, you know, this would be a very good content-filled video. And there's some people out there who, you know, they're probably in their company's infancy, who could really get some good information out of this. So thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, please go to Instagram and follow me on Instagram, Dermador Weldor. Y'all have a fantastic day. And please subscribe so you can see more videos.